a mutual friend, a guy that Verlaine and I knew, suggested Lloyd 2 or 3 months after we'd given up looking, um, and uh, and so we basically auditioned him, and he sounded like he would work. So then we started rehearsing again, and we thought we'd look for a new name for the group, and that was Television. Yeah. Once Richard Lloyd arrived, we were capable of playing live because it was two guitar music. Um, Basically, Tom showed Richard his parts. He learned. He was told what to play by Tom, but it enabled us to play live. Um, and so then we had to start looking for a venue, and or find a way to present ourselves. And I thought that the way that the Dolls had been associated with this particular outlet, the Mercer Art Center, was brilliant because it meant, as a house band, you could rely on being able to see the group when you went to that venue, rather than having to expend the energy to go search for where the band you were interested in might be appearing next. So I hoped that we could find a club that would let us be the house band. And it didn't seem like it should be a problem, because times were hard back then, and there were lots of little nowhere dives that were just barely hanging on. So it seemed like it should work, that if we found a place that seemed likely, that we proposed to the owner, you let us set up here and play on on weekends, and allow us to charge at the door. We'll bring in crowds who will buy drinks, and you, of course, can continue to allow any of your regulars in if you want, without forcing them to pay a cover charge. And so that was what we were hoping to arrange. And we spotted this club. Hilly had just bought the club in December of 1973, and we'd approached him in February or March, just after he of 74, and we played our first date there in early April, I think it was. And we immediately got attention, and so we played there successive Sundays for a few months, and then other bands started appearing. Within that first 8 months or so. I mean, the Ramones showed up in the fall, like August or something like that. The Stilettos showed up before that, within 3 or 4 months. The Stilettos, who included Debbie Harry and Chris Stein, who had formed Blondie, and Patti Smith actually wrote about Television, because I'd been working with Patti on a book. I was printing books as a publisher in those days, a series of books, and we were working on one together. And I said, "You've got to come see my band." And so she came and saw the band, and she responded and wrote about us in the local weekly. And then at that point, she was giving poetry readings, but she would have Lenny Kaye come up and play guitar with her for 10 minutes during the course of her poetry reading, and she would do this kind of recitation, and it would break into music. And so she started focusing more on the music, and started appearing at CBGB's then too in 1974 within a few months of seeing us there.